mama kwa ban famna ke Black Media abusia afi abato ya ba beto no eno na akopie mu ewo eye UK King Charles Bronifita kuruma ene UK fu a ewo honom ebu afu pa ye abusia die ntira ni na ye eye mpanifo mienu ya hu so moda eye o screen yesu obonkum so eye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia boko abrantie ena eye onifan sonso eye John Dramani Mahama abusia na saa enipadom mienu we sei anase mpanifo mienu we sei na ejina yebeka se Ghana ha de omo mienu pa na yebu omudin e wa afia batum and by who kokro agese nyame eye de ye mu ba ko na be ye president abusia eno ana okopie mu e wo UK kokobo kese a efiru ho eba ne say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia running mate the vice president rather at the Republic of Ghana na ando dan Akufo-Addo na ye ka say obi economic wizard ya papai wa boni mu akodi pa ye na eno na akopie mu ewo UK enkrofo bebiri ebusa se obi eso ye economic wizard ba se ye nhwe ye nsika sem so man ye bekọ hipika na se ne ekeka hu nyina no owura we sei ne behwe se obebo ho modern nanso wo hwe ne wo ya ekire se bibia ni ho no ma ekire se ye to aba ema na ebeye ye se obetima be yo man panyini yo abusia wo hwe ni fanson so a owure ya woda hoyi eye John Dramani Mahama ene ebi se Mahani ono nso aba be ye president of Republic of Ghana epen ono nso yaba be hunu na adwuma wo ye ene dum so enye easy ni nina no wantimi nina no ena sebi hwedane se impo uye ni yak wani mante ana eno nam so ma Ghana fo ehwane to akunwa ene wadi free eye oman mu de ekopen ba bi tena se wo se ba bi se yento ne so aba emfama no na eno na UK fo edom ene eye journalist fo aka won ho abom se da bi Sadia na ekoso no obi beka say that nonsense must stop yensem hunu sane NDC fo na nsantem mo be ye enough is enough demonstration no o say yensem hunu sankrofo mienu we nyina ne ye kali wo mu de wo mu gu yensane ye se scale so se weti wo mu a wo mu nyina mu ha pop sa tentekuru emfaso de papa bia ni we se mu so enti omo ma yesa John Dramani Mahama ene Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia tia wasema kakere bi se mre kakere ya akai omo mfamra na UK honom omo mra be debate wo ho na omo ntoto wo ma no enhwe se bi adwene pa ene nimde pa eda wo mutirim a kire se no nti ye to aba mu mu a ebeboa wo mu ente sa UK honom de mo nyo ma adwene so mu besi ho ene abusia wa kire ne mamu pa ye na mepese wo ka me wonya kwaje nchirimu no ebesisi ye.
This is the current vice president of Ghana. He is Bawumia. And this is the immediate past president of Ghana, and he is Mahama. Both are the leaders of the two main political parties in Ghana. The vice president wants to continue as president after the current sitting president. And this ex-president wants to return to the seat, ladies and gentlemen. Before this ex-president became president, he was a vice president and was known as a communications expert. This current vice president, on the other hand, was introduced to us as an economic wizard. This man eventually became president because the then president died in office. Now, let's do some serious comparisons here. Both are running for president in December this year, and both are busily touring the country selling their ideas, because in Ghana, ladies and gentlemen, there is no national policy for development except for the political parties' manifestos. The people of this country have seen the works of this man before, from 2012 to 2016, when he was the president of Ghana, and many people didn't want him to continue after his first term in office. Some of the reasons many people voted against him was because there were too many allegations of corruption and corruption scandals. And on top of that, In that 4 years of his presidency, Ghana was literally blacked out, ladies and gentlemen. Power rationing became a real thing. Everyday lights were taken off for 4 years, which affected everything in the country, including my business. However, he managed to finally provide a solution to the problem, but only at the latter stage when the damage was already caused. So in my personal view, he wasn't someone who was proactive enough towards problem solving, and this is a country that's full of problems. Now, this vice president was the only vice president whose voice was familiar to the people, because he held several town meetings, engaging student bodies as a running mate in an opposition party and civil society groups to break down the problems Ghana had and the solutions Ghana needed. He appeared smart and young and ready for action, and many people, including myself, fell in love with him because we were promised he will turn Ghana's economy around. However, he's been the vice president of our country for nearly 8 years, and he is the head of the economic management team, meaning he oversees all the economic policies and its implementations in our country, which he rightfully deserved due to how well he articulated solutions to our problems. But instead of all that wonderful lectures he gave on the solutions translating into action and improving the economy of this country, it has rather become worse, and he is now full of excuses after excuses, ladies and gentlemen. Today, Ghana's economy is worse than the country's economy at any point in time in the history of our nation. There has never been a time when Ghana has been this poorly run. Yet, this vice president wants us to believe he cannot do much because he is only vice president. And this former president wants us to also believe he has now figured out how to propel Ghana's economy. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is sinking, for your information. I'm talking about inflation. I'm talking about lack of accountability and leadership from our political appointees. I'm talking about unfulfilled promises, our national debt, unemployment rate, corruption, and wastage of our resources. I'm talking about how many companies are leaving Ghana to other West African companies, and how difficult it is to live in Ghana for the ordinary person in this era. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, on the issues of who to trust in this election, but I will not give up on at least pushing to have a more reasonable leadership in place until we break this shackle of this duopoly off our necks. I am hereby throwing this invite to any top representatives of any of these two main political parties to our studio interview on policies. Bear that in mind.